Slow key, and welcome to Family Business. I'm joined by real family, the big homie, the cuz. What you go by, cuz?
Akbat Juba.
Big facts, big facts. What's going on, bro? What you up to today, man? We're gonna get into this whole Drake topic of the night. But what's going on with you, fam? How you feeling? Anything on your mind? And if people want to get in contact with you, how can they reach you?
Well, right now I just drank a fifth, so I'm a little bit loose lip. Sipping on this Coca-Cola orange juice mix. You
All right,
feel me?
all right.
Yeah.
I got some
People
angry
want to get
word
in
over here.
contact with me. My fault. I've been drinking, so I'm gonna cut your ass off.
It's all
So
good.
if people want to get in contact with me, all they got to do is email me at I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna reply.com.
That's what's up. All right. Well, tonight we're gonna get up into this topic. I really want to talk about Drake tonight, but I wanted to talk about Drake, to a real nigga, to somebody that can keep it real. You know what I'm saying? To somebody that's going to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? I don't want no bias. I just want all facts. You know what I'm saying? Yo, can you see the screen right now, bro?
Hold up, I gotta click on it. Oh, he got lipstick on.
It's Drizzy. But let me hop up into the article or the story, whatever. So you familiar with what's going on between Drake and Kanye West? Apparently, Drake responded to Kanye West purple demon emoji comments and saying that Drizzy won't smoke with Kanye. How you feel about that, man?
Drizzy don't want smoke. He just want the clout from coming from smoke. He want to be that nigga who bought the gun for the shooter and not the nigga who the shooter. So when it comes to Pusha T,
Yo,
he don't
run
want
that
nothing to
back.
do with
Run
that.
that back, man. Run that back, man.
I feel you. So Drake
Ooh.
want to be the nigga who bought the gun and known for the nigga who bought the gun for the shooter instead of being the shooter.
Wow. That's the first time I heard that metaphor, dude.
So he want all the clout, but he don't want to do the time. So when it come down to them criminal indictments, he just want to be like, well, he said he needed the gun for this, and I didn't think he was gonna shoot nobody. He just wanted the gun so he could protect himself. And since he didn't have the funds to do so, I just felt like as his best friend or his what is it uh his friend or whatever business partner. I felt that, as far as our business goes, that would be in our best interest to let him to purchase him a gun so he could protect himself.
So you feel like he want enough space just so he could cop please. Let me hop up into this article super quick. I'm going to read this super quick. It says Kanye West recently appeared on Chicago's 107.5 morning show where he spoke about a few topics, including his rumored beef with Drake. Ye assures that there is no bad blood, but the alleged feud might have stemmed from an angry emoji. Niggas out here beefing over emojis. When we talk about the Drake thing, this is Kanye. When we talk about the Drake thing, it hits me in a really sensitive place because you hang around people and they come to your house and be around your family and this and that, West said, and they get mad about a beat and send you purple demon emojis. What kind of behavior is that, man? Let me see. It goes on to say, Ye also said that we all have love for Drake. We understand that he got upset. The story of Adidon. I feel that it was insensitive for him in any way, stressed me out in any way after TMZ while I was in Wyoming healing, pulling all the pieces together, working on my music. And we'll reconcile that one day because we got work to do. And these voices is just too powerful. Drake responded by saying he took to Instagram to post a photo of himself, written on the words "the boy" with like a bunch of fucking sixes, and captioned our crying, laughing emoji and a purple demon emoji. What? Why don't niggas say names anymore, man?
Cause they scared. Cause it's all about this. They still want to be able to deny saying what they said. So if a nigga said, "Hey, Rasputin, I think you a fat ass, lazy ass, greedy bitch," to somebody else, they can't be like, well, the motherfucker said her name, so it ain't like he can't deny it. But if I said that fat bitch over there, her whack ass, gossiping ass, punk ass, fat greedy ass, you can deny who you was talking to. Or if you make a general statement, you could always be like, well, I won't talking to you, but if the shoe fit, then wear it.
Right. You know, I saw this comment, man, and I really want to get your opinion on this because it said, let me see. This dude says, what bothers me the most about Drake is that he's living a fake life. He fake being so hard that he thinks he's hard now. That's what's mind blowing. Crazy how your own mentality can fuck you over, bro. And you feel like that's what happened. Drake kind of just created this image or persona, and it's just fake. But now he feel like he living it. Is Drake really out here? You know what I mean? Like, is he living a lie, or do you feel like, you know, maybe he with the shits?
Drake living the same lie that 6ix9ine is living. Drake is living the same lie that what's your boy name? Young Thug is living.
Oh shit, that's not my boy, dude.
Well, you know,
that's not my boy.
A general saying, like, that ain't your boy literally, but
that ain't my boy.
He a boy, or at least we all think he is.
God damn. Well, shit, man. My main question is, why doesn't he want any smoke with Pusha T? This person says, shout out to Pusha, still undefeated. So that's really my whole question. I just want to know, why doesn't he want any smoke with the only person that actually got at him? You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to know. And it's like, it seems like in every generation, there's the mainstream rapper that gets killed by the not so much mainstream rapper. Like Jay-Z got murdered by Nas, right? And then you have 50 Cent get murdered by Jadakiss. And then you got Drake getting murdered by Pusha T. But it's like, somehow, some way, these niggas is still in the spotlight, man. So do you feel like that's some mainstream media shit? You feel like this is some manufactured shit?
Any publicity is good publicity.
So if a nigga get charged for like pedophilia, that's good publicity.
Yeah, look, Tekashi blew up off the same shit. Tekashi blew up off of kissing little bitches, and then that turned into him saying fuck niggas, suck my dick, and this, that, and the third. So he's still being the pedophile, telling grown men to suck his dick. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's a fact.
But now niggas is like, oh, that's some hard ass shit because he throw up Treyway and he a blood.
But you know what's so crazy? Nigga. You know what's so crazy that you say that, man? He be sounding way too comfortable inviting niggas to do shit like that. Like, he say it. You know what I'm saying? You know how comfortable he just say, he sound way
scripted. It's scripted. It's an act. Just like everybody, all them OGs who reply on his comments and they say that ain't no real nigga shit. That's like some motherfucking nigga trying to get clout shit. Like, I would never tell no grown man to suck my dick. I'll lay that for the bitches. Bitch, suck my motherfucking dick and shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna tell no grown man to suck my dick.
Yeah. And it
what interest do I have from that? I'm not Young Thug. I'm not Prince. I'm not one of them bisexual, metrosexual motherfuckers. Let's be real. I don't want nothing to do with that. You a man, keep your lips from away from me, nigga.
So when you hear, you know, Tekashi say some shit like that don't come off, it's tough to you. That's not it's tough, scripted. Guy.
He just as hard as Nick Cannon in Drumline.
Yo, you talking about pre-turban or post-turban?
No, we talk about hard when he had his cornrows.
when he was a gigolo and shit.
Exactly. With R. Kelly wearing the motherfucking mask.
Oh shit.
We know Nick Cannon is a Nickelodeon star and not no gangster.
And you know what's so crazy? Like, I ain't gonna talk. I'm not trying to talk shit and disrespect Nick Cannon. I don't want no smoke with Nick Cannon, but I will say this. How the fuck does he start off on Nick Cannon I mean, it started off on Nick at Night or whatever the fuck he started on, and then now he's covered in tattoos. He get up on Wildin' Out with diamonds on, jewelry all over. You know what I mean? It's like these niggas put on a costume. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's all. That's what the hell you supposed to do.
You
You
feel like
out,
he's
you out,
supposed to do that?
you out here in the media, just like how a hood nigga go to work in a business corporate. When he go to that corporation and go work with them people, he don't say no nigga, what's up, homie? He be like, good morning, how are you, sir? I'm doing well. How is your day going? Oh, I think it's going totally splendid now that you gave me a handshake and some coffee and some donuts. Yeah, well, you checked the stocks this morning? Yeah, da 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 da. The weather's gonna be great. And then you go be looking at this nigga from the outside like this nigga phony as hell. No, he not being phony, but he putting on the mask that he need to put on so that he can exist in an environment that is not one of which he originated from.
That's a fact, man. And
And niggas be like, they not real niggas, but at the end of the day, can't nobody be a real nigga if he relying on somebody else to pay his motherfucking bills. Just like how all these quarterbacks going out here, like Kaepernick. Kaepernick a real nigga, because no matter what them niggas say, he didn't get no fuck if he played football or not. It was an injustice that he felt like they got mad at him for sitting down doing the whatever the fuck it was. And then when he came to the field after they bitched and complained about him sitting down doing it, he came to the field, put his knee down. That's some real nigga shit. But he said, if I'm not gonna stand for it and I'm sitting on the bench, what make you think after you make me get off the bench that when I get to the field, I'm gonna actually stand for the shit? I won't stand it for it to begin with, and I'm not gonna stand for it when I get to the field after you persuaded me or convinced me that I had to.
I don't
So
know
fuck
about
that.
that, man. I heard, and I want to shout out real quick, Bad and Bougie in the building. But I do want to say this: I did hear that he was trying to get on the team, and I heard him say if he got on another team, he would stand up. So it kind of sounded like he
But
was
that's
copying.
after the point. He already see that he done lost endorsements and he losing bread. So at the moment he was being a real nigga because he was fighting for what he believed in. But
Right.
now that the nigga probably losing endorsements and his taxes is going out the ass motherfucking way, his motherfucking manager might have told him to look, boy, you gotta do what you gotta do to get these endorsements back, or otherwise you and your family, Sierra, or both sex having ass not gonna be able to eat like you want to and live lavish.
God damn. But a lot of people, it's crazy that you bring this up because I was just listening to a dude the other day, and he was literally saying that if he played again, it would kind of, if he played in the league again, it would kind of take away from everything he did. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty much alluding to that if Kaepernick was going to take this stand, he would have to be the martyr. You know what I'm saying? He said if he played again, it would take away from everything he did. It's kind of like his stance didn't mean anything.
Exactly. Just like when they say, "Oh, I don't fuck with y'all because y'all don't represent this." And then a couple weeks later, you were like, "Well, look, I'm gonna have to deal with y'all even though y'all represent this."
Right.
It's gonna take the credibility, and also it's gonna take the concentration out of what you said it. So now you watering yourself down just to be accepted. When if you would have stood on your own too, eventually they would have had to accept your what's the word, your
Perspective.
perspective on it, and they either deal with you or they don't deal with you.
That's a fact. I want to shout out the Queen Keys to winning the building. We just talking shit about Drake. That's all. And we just going through some real shit. But you know what, fam? While we on here, I do want to ask you, man. You be turning up on Facebook a lot, man. I didn't know you was heavy on Facebook like that when it comes to telling niggas what it is and what it ain't. What's going on with that? And before you answer that, I want to ask you, what is a Negropean in your opinion?
You
What is
asking
it?
me or the nigga you shouted out?
I'm asking you.
Oh shit! See, brother, for the philosophy and the justify and the justification of the representation of the misrepresentation of the misrepresented and miseducated nigga of the world. And by the world, I mean the United States. The Negropean is the motherfucker who walk around and don't accept his own roots, but accept the roots given to him by a foreign nation who conquered him and then told him what it's gonna be, and he was satisfied with being what it's being. So in regular terms, that is like how Africans were taken from Africa. Their names was taken from them. Their culture was taken from them. Their so-called religion was taken from them and replaced with all of the things of somebody who conquered them. So a Negropean is an African who has all of the intangibles and all the characteristics of a European. So just like how in Rush Hour 3, when the Asian dude
My
was
nigga
speaking
said Russia.
French, when the Asian dude was speaking French, and Chris Tucker was like, "Why the hell you speaking French? You Asian."
Mm-hmm.
So you are African who adopted European characteristics. So that is a Negropean. You believe in everything a European believe, and you talk how a European believe. You think how a European believe. You do crab in the barrel buckets like how a fucking European out of a cave do. That is a Negropean, because if you look and you research Africans, they were all unified. They might have had different tribes and battles and things of that nature, but they all ruled their own land, so there was no issues of the same sort. So in Africa, it was beefing in Africa like anywhere else, but they were still Africans.
That's a fact. Is Drake a Negropean?
No, Drake is not a Negropean. Drake is a hybrid motherfucker. Drake is on some Drake is on some motherfucking Diddy shit. Drake on some Diddy shit. He do whatever it is to stay in the light. So at the moment, he'll be a Jew if he got to. He'll be a black man if he got to. He'll be a European if he got to, and he'll be a Mexican if he got to.
God damn.
He just one of them motherfuckers who do whatever he got to do to make his money. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, he'll be a pro black person, but then be pro bright, then pro Jewish, then pro gay, or then pro masculine, then pro feminine. Then he'll be this just so he can stay relevant. He rich, but this picture I see, he kissing a nigga. So what that mean?
I'm trolling heavy right now. I'm trolling heavy right now. I mean, I do want to ask you, bro, like on some for real shit. Has it ever been possible to be a real person, to be real to yourself, but also coexist in the entertainment industry? Can
Nope.
you said no?
Nope. The only nigga who did it was Richard Pryor. But you see what happened with him? They shot his ass up till he got multiple sclerosis with all them damn foreign chemicals. And even then, to be real with yourself, if you present yourself to a wide variety of different people with different ideas, you still have to make it as a joke. So you can't be straightforward and honest about yourself without making it a joke. But that's the only way people gonna take it seriously or take it in a manner where they gonna understand it or even try to understand it. Cause look, T.O., the realest motherfucker I know, and the fact that he not willing to what is it, conform to the NFL society is the reason why it took him so long to even be thought of in the ballot for Hall of Fame. Then after he started going on the TV shows and conforming to how they want him to talk, then they put him in the Hall of Fame. And by this point, guess what? He didn't get no fuck. What happened when they had the Hall of Fame to introduce him? He said, "Fuck that! I'm about to have my own party."
That's a fact. Well, me, in my opinion, I feel the same way, man. I feel like when you like you said, when you try to be yourself, they just give whoever the green light to cook your ass. They definitely don't. They just try to destroy your image, especially if you're making money, if you're making real money, especially if you own your own shit. They definitely try to come after you, man. Um, but your boy, I just can't understand how. And like, shout out Keys to Win. Keys to Win. I got two queens in the building right now, so I'm gonna be respectful. But I just don't understand how. Like, let me think. Let me try to word this the right way. I don't understand how just because a person makes good music, you can overlook their personality. So I think for the perfect example is like a R. Kelly, right? So R. Kelly makes great fucking music, man. I love R. Kelly's music. Like, but in his personal life, all the crazy wild shit he's accused of, it's kind of like, damn, how can you overlook it? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's easy because it's for some people. They just worry about the music. When they go home, they put the video game on and play his music. They
Right.
don't go home and research what fucked up shit did R. Kelly do today, whether I should like him or not like him to continue to buy his music or downloading his music. Like me, when I think of R. Kelly, I still think of that Space Jam nigga. Was he a Space Jam? He had a soundtrack or something? No, whatever. But whatever. R. Kelly, what was it? I'm the star up in the sky, or the greatest. So even though he wrote that song so he could build clout after that case, I still only think about it the motherfucker who had the humility to write songs that's encouraging, or at least be able to tell a story about a different view as opposed to what the world write his life about. Just like how like Europeans write that niggas is the most violent motherfuckers in all history,
That's a
when
fact.
even in high school all the way back to the fifth grade when they start talking about history, that every war and every continent has been destroyed and recolonized by Europeans, Belgians, Frenchies, and Spaniards.
That's a fact.
So nowadays they looking at us like we the most violent motherfuckers and the most heinous, crimeful written motherfuckers. But history proves, and they'll tell you even in grade school, that they are what they perceive. They make us look like.
That's a fact, fam.
So instead of so when they walk down the street and they look at us and they fearful in their lives, it's just because they have a guilt, uh, guilt, and image built up on their head that if we ever took power and it flipped and we flipped it on them, we would do the exact same heinous shit that they did to us for over 400 years. To be technical, over 2,000 years. Because
Oh
we ain't
shit.
going back to when they first took over the Asians, or when they first came over, and when them first motherfuckers first got kicked out of Africa for them motherfucking albinos doing that incest shit and doing that other shit. We ain't talking about that far back. We just talking about when they came back out the mountains and they was pale skinned, fair skinned, and all that. We ain't talking about that. We just talking about for what they did in America, or at least during the times when they was conquering shit and splitting people up type shit, and then telling them they wrong for being themselves, and the only way you could be right is if you be like us.
You know what's crazy, man? And I don't even know if I even ask you this question, but I ask a lot of black people this question, man. And the question is, I ask people, black people, I ask them, do you think black people will ever unite?
Fuck no.
Why?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Why?
be 100. Black people will never unite because of the Negropean.
Do you feel like black people were ever unified?
Unify for what? Other than getting paid? And then, even then, when they get paid, they still got a bitch you complain about one nigga working harder than the other motherfucker, making them feel bad.
But I mean, maybe back in the days, because I'm not too hip to, like I said, I don't be reading this shit. But maybe in Africa we was united before we came over here.
It'll be like this. All the Africans would definitely, if they would have known what happened to him after they let that man in, they would have unified to keep his ass out. Just
Right.
like every other continent and every other people. If the
Right.
Asians would have known that tobacco and coffee was bad, they would have kept his motherfucking ass out and kept their tradition intact. Just like in South America, if they would have known they sugar and all they cottons and all that shit would have been corrupted and fucked up their nation and their economy, it would have kept his ass out. But
Damn.
since somebody got out and it was like, oh, this shit better than where I'm come from, and they polluted the mines and they corrupted the people from the west side out, they segregated them and changed them and spreaded them apart to the point where it's no longer necessary to even think like that no more. You can't think like that. You can find people and convert them, but at the same time, it's gonna be more people who are willing to convert than the people who it is that's okay with being Negropeans, ignorant motherfuckers who want to be European because they don't want to deal with being uncomfortable with being their natural self.
That's some real shit, man. And a lot of people that I have up on the panel, Hold up. Bad and Bougie going in on you. She said, no blacks sold other blacks into slavery. I heard about that. Is that true?
But that's the same thing I'm saying. Blacks sold other blacks into slavery because they were tempted and thinking that the grass was greener on the other side. So if I think that a motherfucker, look, all I got to do is sell 500 people, and I'm be able to get these real good guns, and I'm gonna be able to get this money. I'm gonna be able to. Well, look, there's a diamond mine over there. All I got to do is sell the people who own the property because that's what they have been entitled to since the beginning of the time. All I got to do is cheat them out of their property, and I can live like a king. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna sell these motherfuckers into slavery so I can live cool. Especially if they got a diamond mine and all I got is a goat farm. Fuck them niggas. I'm gonna sell them motherfuckers so I don't have to have a goat farm. I can get paid for whatever I skim off of selling them, and then the man, you know what I'm saying, profiting off of the diamond mine over there. Because how is it that where all the diamonds is in Africa, the next state over is not reported to have any diamonds of any sort, but they export the highest amount of diamonds in the whole entire world, but they have no diamonds mines in their state.
That's crazy.
That's like Virginia being known for selling peanuts and cotton, but then all of a sudden they got all this oil, they exporting all this oil, but there's no oil underneath Virginia. And then the next state over is the state of West Virginia with the coal mine. No, I ain't mean to say oil. I mean to say coal. So it's a coal mine in West Virginia, and all of a sudden West Virginia not getting paid for no oil, no coal mine, but Virginia is. And the only place the coal is at is in West Virginia. Somebody sold West Virginia out, basically made them think that, oh well, you can make money this way, but then when you don't make the money this way, you know what I'm saying, you fucked. So
Right,
then
right.
the better option is to sell your own people out so that you can get the bread
That's a fact, man. And
instead
it's
of unifying and having a corporation for them damn selves, the West Virginia Coal Corporation, where everybody in West Virginia making billions of dollars for selling coal. But no, they want to sell it out and do it the way Virginia do it. Well, Virginia say I can make $1 billion, and that sounds way better than making $500,000 like we make now. But if you would have stayed and made your own corporation, you could have made $500 billion, just like the man that Virginia convinced your ass was going to do you better, but do better by you if you sold it to him.
that's a fact. And you know what's so crazy, man? We be chilling all the time, but when we be chilling, we be chilling for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that I can get you in your element where you on your shit right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Cause it be like most of the time I know when I hang around people, I don't be trying to put my knowledge up. I ain't gonna say knowledge because that make people feel inferior. So what I'm
Right,
gonna say is I don't be trying to put what I be studying on other people. So cause I know everybody don't study what I study and they
right,
don't study it to the intensity that I do. But
right.
I find joy in studying my history and finding out why things happen. I like asking why. So if you will, I'm a scientist, as opposed to most people are just researchers. So it's a big difference between the researcher and the scientist because the biggest thing a
Ooh.
scientist do is question why everything is what it is. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's a real motherfucking nigga because he ain't even a scientist. He a fucking what is it? He a everything. So everything he study is beyond the scope of what the average motherfucker even think about questioning.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying? So it's like you asking Neil deGrasse Tyson and you got Neil deGrasse Tyson in the room with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson don't give a fuck about the shit he talking about unless he might have read about it because it had to do something with his motherfucking horoscope. Other than that, Neil deGrasse Tyson like, yeah, well, I understand your horoscope, but it even go deeper than that. And Mike Tyson was like, well, fuck that, I'm gonna knock you out because you trying to make me feel stupid. No, it ain't that, but your field of scope is not as broad as mine, so I don't be trying to push that on everybody because then you're gonna have to go into this conversation about you think I'm better than you, you think you better than me because you this, that, and the third. No, I don't got nothing to do with that. And I'll beat your ass like the next motherfucker if you want that problem. I just be trying to educate motherfuckers, but then when they don't appreciate me doing so, then I'm gonna tell them I'm not about to waste my pearls amongst y'all swine motherfuckers, and they really hate when you talk like that, because then they be
Right.
like, "Oh, you just got this slave man title, this slave man." No, not actuality. I just get tired of dealing with y'all motherfuckers. Because if I have to defend myself for being a mad scientist and you just okay with being a researcher who take whatever the fuck Wikipedia spit at you, then okay, fine, cool.
That's so fact. And you know what's so crazy? Everybody I bring on the panel, I always ask them. Like I said, I asked them that other question, but I also asked them this question as well. You know, I like to surround myself with people with a certain energy, bro. Like that, a realness, a self awareness. They know what's going on around them. They know who they are. They just got a self awareness about them, and I can peep that energy. And the question that I ask a lot of people I have on my panel, if not everyone, is when you wake up in the morning, what makes you tell the truth?
Hmm. You know what? That's a good question. Because since I've been up here 2 years, I question every night. Why the fuck did I tell the truth? Why was I being so forthcoming and honest after I done went through a whole day of telling the truth? And you know what? It's not for the world, but it's for myself. Because I was explaining to my other cousin, I ain't gonna say his name, because you know it's beef in the streets. But it's people who have humanity left in them, whatever percentage it is, that could convict them to do what is good and what is wholesome and what is righteous. So it might like how they say Jesus, he did everything of the sort, right? But he still got killed. He didn't turn it down from what he did or fought for what was right. So there's people in the world who still have that character trait in them. So when they be honest, and those is probably the same motherfuckers who commit suicide because they tired of being, tired of the persecution. So the reason why I fight with myself every night for being honest during the day is because I have some sort of humanity left in me that wasn't tainted by the social norms and what is commonly accepted in society. So I tell the truth because my conscience, based upon that I still have traits of humanity left. Because there's a whole lot of motherfuckers who don't have self-control or self-awareness to the point where they feel comfortable telling the truth. They feel more comfortable with being included and lying just so they could fit in what society says is the norm or what is more commonly accepted.
That's a fact, man. That's a fucking fact. And so, if that's the case, I mean, I don't want to be cliche with it, but we pretty much the black sheep. Am I right?
I ain't no motherfucking shit, no goddamn way. I'm a, look,
It's a
y'all.
fucking
I know
metaphor.
everybody gonna know this one. Y'all seen the Flash, right? And y'all seen that big gorilla who telepathic and knows smart as shit, right? That's who is it that I am. I am that big. What's his name? Grunt. Whatever. They gonna know. They gonna say it in the comments.
Now, Miss Solo says sometimes it's brutally honest. She says she's starting to make noises when she get up, followed by words. Keys to Win says, or fit in with the YouTube streets. Yeah, it's a lot of monkey see, monkey doing going on out here, man. And the sad part is, man, it's just everything is just it, it's just like it's nothing organic, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I look around and unless I hop up on this channel and I'm talking to real people, I just don't see anything organic, man. I go on YouTube, everything recommended on YouTube is some corny whack ass manufactured shit. I turn on the TV, it's some corny shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's and then you go outside and you might want to have a conversation with somebody outside and they don't even want to be bothered, especially you know what I'm saying where I'm at in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard out here for somebody that's self-aware to actually, be motivated to I don't even know to keep it moving it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's very difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is very difficult. Like, you know what? I don't think I've even had this conversation with anybody since the last time I saw you, and I was throwing up because I mixed Blue Moon and Gin together. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what make you feel included to do what other people do, and
Right.
in your content of the things that you like to talk about doesn't really fit into what everybody else is talking about. You feel like you have to dumb yourself down to talk about things that normally, to be honest, is quite depressing to you, just because you feel like I'm a scientist around a whole bunch of laborers. So then you be like, well, let me think and talk as a laborer. That way I can at least have some kind of human interaction with other people. That way I don't feel lonely. But in the end result, you still feel lonely, which still leads to depression, because you're not really talking about what is nurturing to you or your character. Like how they say in the Bible, like some people can only handle milk, and some people can handle the meat of the Bible. So it's just like they say, the elders, they can handle the meat of the Bible, and some of the other people who are not as mature or experienced, they can only handle the more the milkish parts of the Bible, as far as the stories or just the analogies. They can't go into the depth that know that, like, some of the analogies come from different translations, and then that the stories, when you go back to the actual time of the stories, was not the stories, but they only been changed because of the translation, and that the actual figuratively meaning is not the same as the literal one that everybody talks about and have studies about. So it's just like, that's why you see most really truthful and intelligent people of the world are isolated, and they seem depressed. Like Vincent Van Gogh cut his ears off. Why he cut his ears off? Because he felt alone, and if he
Hold on,
had
you
to
talking
talk.
about the paint? You talking about the painter?
Exactly. So he cut his ears off because I personally feel like he cut his ears off. I never really did the research, but I feel like he felt like if he had to have conversation with people who's talking shit he didn't really care for, that wasn't stimulating to him, then he
Yo,
cut his fucking ears off.
is that? Are you serious? That's a real thing. He really cut his ears off.
Hell yeah. It might have been something else, but as far as me
What?
being the deep thinker, I feel like if I ever cut my ears off, it would just be to show like how everybody wear headphones. Everybody wear headphones in public because they don't want nobody to talk to them about
Right.
shit other than what they want to hear about.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. I never even knew that. That's crazy. Now I do want to ask you this real quick. Bad and Bougie in the chat says she thinks she's too blunt. My question is, I'm a Taurus too, man. I feel like I'm too damn blunt. I don't really have a lot of friends because I can't spoon feed niggas the truth, right? So
Listen,
my question is, like, if you too blunt out here, if you just call it how you see it, should you adapt to society, or should you just be who you are? Should you keep it moving how it is and say fuck these niggas? I'm not spoon feeding these niggas.
that's good because I had that's a good question because I had an experience where people told me I was too direct and I was too concise. But there's people who appreciate who the hell you are for who you are, and they want that key from you, and that's why they like you. So instead of trying to appease the crowd who are opposite of what you have to offer, why don't you appease the people? Or not even gonna say appease, because if they appreciate you, you can just be yourself and they'll handle it, and they'll deal with it with they'll deal with their inner turmoil however they have to be, or however they have to do it to be around you. So I'm not a Taurus. I'm a Leo. I don't know what the hell y'all problems is, but I know that when I feel the most happy and cheerful is when I could be out here and I could be. I don't even know what it. I can't. I ain't really into no horoscope stuff, but I feel like time when I'm the most happy and cheerful and jovial is when I could talk the shit I've been talking, and not necessarily talking negative or derogatory, but if I could talk the way I process things, that's what make me happy. So when people say those things are blunt or you too straightforward, you need to learn how to sugarcoat stuff and make it more acceptable to the people, then that just shows to prove to me that I need to hang around somebody else. Because just like I got this is an analogy I used earlier. People who've been in the military for 40 years, they have their characteristic as a militant. And then if you're a civilian and you get around them, you might feel some type of way, but they
Right,
don't mean no harm about
right,
it. It's
right,
just that once you've done something for so long, it becomes a part of you. And the
right,
part that makes you sad is that you have to explain that over and over again
right, right.
instead of being able to talk how you are. So what happens when somebody who's been in the military for 40 years get out of the military? They hang around other military who retired because they don't want to be around people they have to constantly explain themselves to. Well,
That's a
I
fact.
wasn't trying to be, I wasn't trying to be tyrant-ish, or I wasn't trying to be militant, and I don't want to make it seem like I have to over-explain everything that I do because I just feel like that's who I am now. It's nothing I could do now. Now I could take everything I say and think about it and make it so it's not offensive to you, but at the same time, I get tired and worn out by doing that. So I would just rather hang around people who already been in the military for 30 plus years because they know how I talk, they know how to laugh about it because they had the experience and that's who they are. Just like I say with another analogy, if I want to be a basketball player, I'm not going to go hang around soccer ball players.
That's a fact. And I want real quick. I do want to shout out all the kings and queens up in the chat, man. Recently, bro, like my main channel, they didn't hit me with a fucking some bullshit. They put me on timeout on my main channel. I had to bring everybody over to my new channel, and I'm really proud that a lot of people came over to my new fucking channel. I fucks with y'all. That's love right there. So I want to shout out Miss Solo. I want to shout out Keys to Win, Q Dawson, and Miss Bad and Bougie. Miss Bad and Bougie says she's a Leo too, fam. I didn't even know. All the time we've been kicking it, I didn't even know you was a fucking Leo. I thought you was like a Cancer or some shit.
Because that's because me personally, I become more passive because I
Right,
had experience with people say they can't deal with how I talk because I'm
right.
too aggressive. I'm too, I'm too, just too much to handle. So I got to learn how to talk to people, and I feel like that's fair. Is being well rounded as a person. That's I feel like that observation is fair because I feel everyone should be well rounded or at least enough to be able to communicate with a wide scope of people, especially if you have skills like as far as being a leader or at least having skills that a large majority of people look up to.
That's a
So it's
fact.
just like, okay, I'm very good at being straightforward, but at the same time, I should be able to talk to people who can't handle people who are so straightforward. So then, like people who are straightforward, they tend to doubt themselves because they don't really feel like people can handle it. So they try to figure out ways to not be straightforward, which don't really help them because it don't help convey their thoughts because their thoughts are straightforward. So when they got to walk in a circle or walk around and about to explain something to somebody, it don't come out neatly and so politically correct. And that in itself causes more problems.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. While we up here, real quick, family, tell everybody up in the chat. They asking who is going off right now. Who is going off on the live right now? Tell them what you go by, fam.
Akbat Javad.
Super facts. Now you know what? I do feel like we exhausted this whole Drake situation. I think moral of the story is, Drake is like you said, man. What was that metaphor you said about the gun? I think I can't say it any
Drake
better.
want to be the man who bought the gun for the shooter to shoot instead of buying a gun for his damn self and shooting it.
That's a fucking fact. I can't really sum it up any better. I feel like if he got words for anybody, the only person he needs to have words for is Pusha T. It makes no sense why he's going at Kanye West, why he's bringing Travis Scott on the stage and low key like throwing shade on Nicki Minaj because she was beefing with Travis Scott. I mean, he's going at everybody. He went at Jay-Z. He's going at everybody, but the one person that scorched him on wax. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for Pusha T. And I'm gonna leave that there. I do want to get into a topic, man, that I'm not sure if we talked on my channel yet, but I do want to ask. I want to pose this topic to you, fam, and I do want to pose this topic to all the queens and kings up in the chat. Um, the topic I want to pose, I want to question everyone is, when is it time to let go? Whether it be relationship, whether it be a living situation. I know you, fam, you going through a lot right now. You know what I'm saying? You shaking and moving out here in these streets. So I think you're the perfect person to ask. You know what I'm saying? when is it time to let go? Whether it be family, whether it be a living situation, whether it be just just moving to a different state, relocating. When is it time to let go of your diet? When is it time to let go? In your opinion.
Well, as far as look, I can't like I'm gonna have to have my own fucking channel to go into some of those questions. You feel me? But as far as I'm gonna just say diet. A
Right.
couple years ago, I took a 90-day challenge to be a vegan.
Oh shit.
So I noticed immediate changes after 32 days. Like my face was clearing up. I could shave any kind of way I wanted to, and I had no razor bumps. I could take a shower and not be ashy and have dry skin. When I sweat, I won't musty. And this was all after 32 days. So I feel like the only time you can really know when to let go is when you are trying different things. If that makes sense. I don't want to make it seem like you got to be a whore. That's why I said diet, as far as
Right.
diet wise, because people when they go on diets, they do try something else and they substitute some other things. So as far as the diet, I feel like that's something easy to convey to have other people to be able to imagine the idea. Well,
Well, we're gonna go down the list. Let me hop up in. We're gonna go through everything. When is it time to let go? We're gonna go down the whole fucking list. I think you an expert on this topic, fam. But real quick, Q Dawson says when you get your heart broke in a relationship.
but when you say that, the whole reason, well, my question is, if you get your heart broken, is it as a result of you being ignorant about something that you're not doing right and you're not willing to accept it and take ownership of you fucking up? Because I know a lot of times women might break up with somebody and break their heart because they want the person they broke up with won't doing right, and then the person they broke up with refused to own up to their wrongdoings, and so after a while been given so many chances, opportunities to correct it. They got tired of dealing with it. So then that person, or I'm gonna say the woman, she got tired of dealing with it, and she said enough is enough. Like you slapped me once, I'm gonna turn my cheek. You slap my other cheek, I'm gonna turn away and walk away from you. That's enough is enough. So like, yeah, you got your heart broke, but was it not your own fault they got your heart broken? Or like if your relationship with your mother was kind of sour and she died, and your heart was broken because she died, now you were really heartbroken because you weren't able to repair that relationship before
Right,
she died.
right,
And
right.
so there's nothing you can do. But at the same time, if you was the person who was at fault, then what really else is there to do other than to say, well, I was wrong. I accept that I was wrong, and I have to learn everything I can learn from this situation and move on. And as far as moving on, I have to take a lot of wisdom and humility and learn from whatever it was the mistake I made, instead of trying to be justifying reason for your actions.
Right, right. No, that's a fact. Let me hop up in the chat. Q Dawson says he said he was just saying, but then he follows up saying that was a good point. Um, I want to ask you living conditions, whether it be with family, whether it be with roommate situation. When do you feel like
Preach.
when do you feel like it's time to leave a situation like that? Because I'll be honest with you, man. It is fucking over here in Jersey, dude. It is damn near impossible to have your own spot, man. Unless you work in 5 days all damn day, and then you only got 2 days to enjoy your living space. But then you be damn near sleeping. You know what I'm saying? The whole 2 day, the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? So for a situation where you have a roommate or maybe even staying with family members, when do you feel like it's time to let go?
Well, you can only decide that after you giving your best and that you've been diplomatic about talking about the issues that you having with the roommates or your family members. Kind of like if, like I talked to my cousin a couple times, it was just like, well, this is what we supposed to be doing, and it's not what we doing. And so now that the shit hit the fan, haven't been any change, and I give you plenty of opportunities for change or figure out how we could come together and make it work. So after you do that 3 times, I feel like that's enough. Like,
Right,
granted,
right,
if you live with your mother and father, and you know you can't afford to live by yourself, you gonna have to suck that shit up and take whatever they dish out.
That's a fact. Yo, I remember my parents talked to me like shit when I lived with them. They didn't give no fucks, man. It was
But you know
awful.
what? You got to deal with it. Because if you can't afford to do it your own way and do what you want to do by yourself, then you have to at least have a humility to realize, okay, well, if they want me to clean up after myself every time I do something, even though I'd rather wait till it pile up, I'm going to have to do that. Or just like if you live with your woman and she feels like you're not giving her enough attention, then you have to do whatever it has to be do to give her the attention, not necessarily saying that you got to be in her face, but the attention as far as, okay, well, I need to make room in my life for her so she could feel like she's a part of my team instead of it's just me and her. Or if you have a roommate from who knows where just so you can live in Jersey, and you be like, well,
Right.
look, bro, I'm not at home all the time, so the house not clean. It's because you here all the time. So, you know, what can we do to relieve this problem that we're having? And if that don't work, then you just got to be like, well, it's not working anymore.
You know
Because I
what's
came to
crazy
you
though?
numerous times to try to figure out the problem. Well, you felt that, well, wash the dishes the old school way don't really help. And I said, well, shit, we just bought a dishwasher, so there's no reason why it should be dishes in the sink or in the dishwasher. So after you buy a dishwasher and it's still a problem, dishwasher full with dirty dishes, then the only other problem is get rid of the person who got the dishwasher full of dirty dishes.
That's some real shit. But you know what's so crazy, bro? The fact that you seem like you on your communication shit, but I thought Leos were more action
We are.
oriented.
Well, I don't really get into the horoscope, but my experiences leads me to believe that yes, Leos are more action orientated, and that's why some of their biggest problems is communicational issues.
Right.
Because I feel
Because you
like
kind of
Leos are the prime. Leos are the people you want in your army because you know if you say something, they gonna go get that shit done without a heartbeat being wasted.
right,
And they
right.
might not be able to communicate what they did so that you can understand what happened, but you might be able to see the aftermath and you want them to explain like why did you do that, and they might be like hum to shum the holla mark mark mark, and you're like, well, why in the fuck you say that, and what you did don't match what you said,
That's a fact.
but it conveyed to what you asked of them. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted a bunch of Leos to go take over the world, them motherfuckers might go take over the world, but they not be able to explain efficiently or effectively how they took over the world. So now when you trying to figure out how you gonna take over the world, you were like, well, damn, I sent a whole bunch of people who know how to take over the world, but didn't know how to explain it to me, so I could do it in turn.
Right, right. And keys to winning the chat says when you feel miserable, it's time for a change. Um,
But then that come back to your self reflection, the man in the mirror. Are you causing the reason why you're miserable? Or are you trying to be one of the individuals who like, I'm miserable because somebody else did this? Take it, every action has a reaction, but is the reason the reaction your fault and somebody else was just reacting to your action? And now you're feeling miserable because you didn't take the best action to deal with something.
that's some real shit. Now I want to move on to dreams, man. A lot of us have dreams out here. A lot of us have careers and goals that we want to reach. But sometimes it might get to a point where it's like, damn, you know what I mean? That shit might not, it just might not happen in this lifetime. When do you feel like, if we have a certain dream that we want to do, when do you feel like we should let that go?
You should never let go of your dreams. You just should let go of whatever you're doing that's supposed to help you get to your dream. Like me,
Damn.
I always knew I wanted to be my own businessman. I grew up around my pop. He was an entrepreneur. He did whatever the fuck he wanted to, whenever the fuck he wanted to. Bought a house, had an auto shop, did all that when he wanted to. But you know what? He gave up on his. Let's just say he had a job to finance his dream, and his job was being in the military. So when his job could no longer support his dream because he didn't like it, he gave up on his job and put everything into his dream. Granted, his dream ain't paid for it, the what is it, the luxuries and the leisure of his life, but he was more happy being broke and being able to have his dreams still intact, rather than having all the monies and having the job to be able to pursue a dream. And it just kind of, like he said to me, like he'll do the same thing over and over again. He could have stayed in the military for 40, 50 years, but he probably would have ended up being disabled and not being able to enjoy his dream.
Damn, that's some real shit. Now, Bad and Bougie in the chat says, "Yeah, if you 45 trying to be a comedian, damn,
Get that shit up. Get that shit up.
oh shit, man. I don't want to be up in your fucking personal business, but is there something personally you had to let go of recently? And I want to ask this to the chat too. Chat, to the kings and queens in the chat, is there something y'all want to share recently? Something y'all had to give up? Something that when you felt like, yo, it's time to let this shit go. It's time to let this bitch breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wanted to be a professional stoner for the rest of my life and live in the Blue Mountains.
What the fuck? Wait, Blue Mountains.
That's in Jamaica.
That's some real shit.
That's some Rastafarian dream I used to have since I was 11.
That's a real place.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But you know what? It costs a lot of money to be able to get there to live in the mountains. So I was like, well, I don't got to totally give up on it, but I have to live in reality and know I have to take care of whatever it is I have to take care of right now, so that when I do get 45 and want to be a comedian, all I know I have to do is go live in the Blue Mountains and smoke weed and make everybody laugh.
That's some real shit, man. I never even heard of that. I never even heard of that before. Is there a reason why they call it Blue Mountains though?
I don't even know. But I know it's a guy I follow on YouTube called Chef Moko, and he got like a little Ital food. Well, he cook Ital food because he a roster, so he don't cook nothing with preservatives or salt and all that. So he basically a vegan, if that makes sense to everybody. And he live in the Blue Mountains. That's like the rural area of Jamaica. Like they got the city part, the urban part, and then they got the people part where like I guess the slaves who ran away from the slave ships ran up into the mountains to escape captivity. And
Right,
they
right,
just been living there ever since. Well, that's how he explained it.
right. Keys to Win says, I wanted to change careers to be a psychiatric nurse, but I'm sick of school, so she gave up. How you feel? How you feel about that, man? How you feel about school being in, it's, for a lot of people, you got to go to school for mad long just to get that paperwork.
Well, from my experience, most people get sick of school because they get tired of having to bust their ass and go to school. So, like I said, you got to have a job to fund that, so that way you can enjoy it. So that way all the hard work will pay off. So, you know, it's just doesn't seem like it's a chore.
That's a fact. That's a fucking fact. Now, Miss Solo says, I always wanted to be a lawyer / judge until I kept getting arrested all the time. What the fuck?
Then you should just be an activist.
You know what's crazy, bro? Like a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week or two ago on my show, we did this show about the origin of trolls. Like, where did they come from? Did they spawn from real life and they just migrated to the internet? I really personally don't like I don't like talking about trolls because I don't want to feed them. You know what I'm saying? But because I have you on, I might have to make an exception. I want to know your opinion on what's the origin of trolls, fam. Like, did they spawn in real life and they just migrated to the internet? Are they harmless? And
So,
do you feel there's ever a time or a need to feed the trolls?
so all I'm saying is, for the niggas who was born after 97, when the internet started, a troll ain't nothing but the motherfucker who run around and be like, oh, he said this. I wouldn't take that shit if I was you.
Oh shit. So you saying an instigator?
Exactly. So it went from being an instigator to a
Uh,
troll. Because all
uh,
trolls do, if you think about it, a troll do the exact same thing an instigator does. Like how
right,
50 run up there and say 6ix9ine is the king of New York.
right.
You
Oh,
ain't doing
okay.
nothing but instigating problems. But 50 don't care because he instigated, so he gonna do that just so he can get popularity and fame, I guess.
That's a fact. And also, have you ever? What was your first? Because I asked everybody that I was on the panel. What was your first experience dealing with a troll? Maybe whether it be in real life or on the web. What was your first experience like dealing with somebody that was trying to purposefully bring you out of character?
My grandma. On my
yo,
mama's side, because I don't
yo,
know the grandma on my daddy's side, because, yeah.
your grandma was a fucking troll. I'm tight that you said that, dude. I think grandma was the first troll, man.
Because from that point on, I
Wow.
used her as a reference point to know whether or not somebody purposely trying to instigate a problem.
That's a
So
fact.
if it wasn't to that level, I didn't think it was a problem or they was trying to instigate. But if I felt like, okay, if it walked like a duck, talk like a duck, then it is a duck. So yes, you're trying to instigate a problem that I don't have. And it's times where I've been wrong and I put my foot in my mouth because then after I had some dialogue and found out that like this person just trying to honestly just trying to be helpful or trying to give me a different perspective to think about stuff. It was just like, oh shit, I went so hard in this way of thinking that I might have actually fucked up a relationship thinking they trying to instigate something.
That's a fucking fact, man. And you know what? Now that you had to bring up grandma, man, because for everybody in the chat, we actually share the same grandmother, and our grandmother, respectfully, we love her, but she was crazy as hell. She was with the shits before niggas was with the shits. She wanted all the smoke before Drake even came out with that song. My question to you is, family, and this I don't even know how to ask this, but what is your idea? What is your definition of family? What do you feel like a family should be? Because we be having conversations about this all the goddamn time. But I'm not sure if I ever asked you what would be your ideal perception or definition of of a family. I'm not gonna say perfect, but a real family. And this goes to y'all too, chat. What would be your ideal situation where of a family?
You know, I'm a metaphoric person, so I can't give a straight answer. But I feel like family are the people who allows love to overlook various errors. So instead of using those errors to condemn you or to make you seem like your way of thinking is inferior or wrong, they use love to be like, okay, this is what happened. I don't think that was the best way of moving about it. I feel like I have wisdom to help with that era. And if you're willing to let me love on you, I can tell you what I think. And if it's not helpful to you, then we can sit together and we can come up with some kind of resolve or a conclusion that would help to, I ain't gonna say help the era to stop, but at least when you do move, you'll have a lot more wisdom to at least alleviate having such errors continuously in a insane manner. Like as if you know, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
That's a fact. And Miss Solo says my grandmother could throw shade like no other, hands down.
Cause them niggas was going under them damn cherry trees. What you think? Them motherfuckers, they know all about that shade. They about that life.
Man, we do like I was saying, man. We our grandma was pretty crazy.
You
Um,
goddamn nigga, you fast ass bitch, you never had that motherfucker, you just dumb, you stupid and retarded. Do I gotta tell you anything else? Well, I'm
You know,
sorry, Grandma. I'm only 5 years old, so I didn't know. Well, your dumb ass should have known better.
but it's crazy because let me ask you a question, man. Was that tough love or was she crazy?
No, I ain't gonna say somewhere down. I feel like it was tough love just because from the experience he had growing up, because she grew up during different times.
Right.
But like I said, now we grow up in a different age, so what we think of as tough love, she might have thought of like you just being soft.
That's a
Because like
fact.
our grandma grew up, and I believe she witnessed people getting lynched and people getting beat to the edge of their lives. So when they say tough love, she might have had to literally call people dumbass, ignorant niggas who just don't think to
Right.
keep people alive, so she don't witness them dying. So in her heart and her mind, it might have been okay. I got to say this to keep this man from going out this house, or my son from going out this house after night and having these conversations with people you're not supposed to be having to learn how to read so I could keep them alive. As opposed to nowadays, the tough love might be look, no TV, no internet, no cell phone. You can get this flip phone that only make incoming call, that only allow incoming calls.
Right. Right.
So it's like it's just different based on experience. So I feel like because we grew up in a time where people were fighting for us to have liberties and have these opportunities that she didn't have, her tough love is totally different from ours. And so I
Right.
feel like we gotta forgive her because she didn't grow up when we did and she don't have the same perspective. And that's like more reflecting more than passing judgment. Like your boys say, ye who sin, what is it? Ye who don't sin, cast the first stone. You see, ain't
Right.
nobody throw the stone.
Facts. And
But in these days, everybody feel comfortable throwing the stone because they feel that they are so headstrong and so educated in their own ways, they are unable to accept other people's ways and views and opinions that they could throw a stone and be okay with. Oh, I'm right, but you can't say I'm wrong because you don't know.
right. And the thing I struggle with this personally, man. I do want to. Is there any way you could teach somebody how to understand tough love? Is there, or is it just they not gonna get it? Are certain people just not gonna understand that you're not being mean to them? This is just how you show your love and affection for somebody. In the midst of trying to care for them and actually really be there for them.
But that's what I feel like family is for. Because I feel like the only way somebody can understand you is if they understand your upbringing.
Right.
Just like with the military analogy, like nobody understand military families the way military families understand other military families. Like the civilians, like these niggas all shell shock and got PTSD. What is it, PTSD?
Yo.
All these niggas is wild and da, da, da. But to another military family, they be like, well, yeah, he probably had a couple bombs go off by his head and he talked real hard and he militant because 4 o'clock in the morning, wake ups, cold showers, and running 4 miles before 8 o'clock. They might be, it's a different structure. And even me, I'm learning. Like, I grew up in the most unfavorable conditions. And when I have be around people who I feel personally or I observe that they might not have grown up in the same environment, I feel like they better off and they really can't pass no judgment or give me an opinion because they didn't grow up exactly how I grew up. It just make them feel like it make me feel like they're just trying to be tyrannical. Or is that a word? Tyrannical? Are they trying to be tyrants, trying to push their way off on you?
I think it's tyrannical.
Yeah, tyrannical.
Let me hop up in the chat real quick. Miss Sola, Keys to Win says my grandmother was my best friend too. Bad and Bougie says mine too. Miss Solo says my grandmother's homies were my homies. That's where the old soul come from. I love elderly people. They don't give a fuck. Keys to Win says I think when you get older, you get it. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
or at least you learn how to accept it. Well, is accepting a good word or term? It'll probably be more. You just have a better understanding of it. I ain't gonna say you accept it because you don't necessarily accept things you don't agree with, but you can understand why people are the way they are, so you don't have such a negative. expression about it or opinion about it.
And shit, while I got you here, I'm gonna go through it. Shit, I ask a lot of people on my panel, what's your definition of a king and what's your definition of a queen? Because we refer to each other on
Oh
my
shit.
channel a lot. Yeah, we freestyling right now, but we refer to each other on my channel a lot as kings and queens. I feel like it's respectful, but I want to make sure we're using the appropriate adjectives to refer to each other. What's your definition of a king, and then what's your definition of a queen, bro?
But then you gotta open up the history book and stop thinking like a European. Because just like the slaves, they say some of the slaves are kings and queens, but all of them wasn't kings and queens. Like I feel like a king, and a queen in their own right is the the highest person in their own castle. So just like the mother and the father are the highest person in their own communities or their own households, that's what make them king or queen. Not just saying that they royal make you a king or queen. Just the fact that, okay, you have a house and you live with your wife, and then you are able to take care of your kids and take care of all the responsibilities you need to. That's what makes you a king and a queen. Not the fact that you walk around the streets and be like, oh, I got $2,000 Balenciagas on that look like socks, and I'm just royal because all my clothes cost a lot, and because you wear Converse that's dirty and you got holy sneakers and holy clothes, that make you a peasant. No, I feel like nobility comes with responsibility, and a lot of people don't understand it or see it like that.
Damn, my man said nobility comes with responsibility. I fuck with that. Um, let me see. Keys to Win says, especially when you become a parent. Miss Solo says, you're supposed to eat to live, not live to eat. Damn.
Exactly.
Yeah, because on the stream right now, I'm still showing pictures of the food. I don't know why. I just kept pressing the damn arrow or whatever.
Nigga, you need to learn how to close your web pages, bro. Your computer running slow as shit.
Nah, my shit clean. But you didn't answer. You didn't. Did you tell me what a queen was?
Well, I kind of put it together.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like, if you were the head of your household, then that would, and you were able to take care of the responsibilities. I feel like that's what make you a king or a queen. Like, you can't say you're a king or you're a queen, but you're not handling those responsibilities. Like, okay, yeah, your name is on the mortgage, but you got somebody else paying your mortgage for you. You got somebody else paying your water for you. You got somebody paying your sanitation for you. You got somebody paying your electricity for you. I don't sound like a king or queen to me, because they will be able to organize everything so they have multiple incomes or some type of income of whether they go pillage the next country to pay for all that shit and put it on. They handle all the responsibility by themselves. Now, if you want to say a community of people living together, then all of those things would be allocated towards each individual so they can take care of it all. But those communities, they wouldn't have one king or a queen. They would probably have a round table of people who have more wisdom than the younger people around them.
Wise man asked me this question. He go by the name of John Hardy. He asked me this question a couple weeks ago. He asked me, and I'm going to ask it to you. If I could cover your expenses for the rest of your life, and this goes to the chat too. I want to know y'all answer, chat. If I could cover your expenses for the rest of your life, what would you be doing? What would you do?
Living in the Blue Mountains, smoking weed, talking some philosophy, and reading books.
Oh shit. I see you. Chat, let me know, what would y'all do? What would y'all do if your expenses could be covered for the rest of your life? What would you be doing in the meantime? Shit, man. Also, I want to know, it's a lot of on the radio as far as when it comes to rap and hip hop. I really don't even listen to rap music anymore, man. It's just like a joke to me, man. It feels like it feels like a parody. You know what I'm saying? It really it really fucks up my soul when I subject myself to this, to whatever's going on in hip hop right now. But as far as gangster, I want to know what's your real life definition of gangster? What is gangster to you in real life?
LeBron James is gangster to me.
Oh shit. I don't know about that, man.
As far as NBA goes, like he go above and beyond being an entertainer. So that's why I say he a gangster. But look, I'm being
No, I
rude.
can't co-sign that, right?
I don't give no fuck.
You know this is a pro hate,
I don't like LeBron
anti-LeBron.
either, but I feel like as far as entertainer and having to deal with responsibilities he ain't got to, he being gangster. Like how like he got TV show to address issues, social issues. That's like some thorough stuff. He go play basketball and he thorough about playing basketball. He make everybody around him better. He handled social political issues. He addressed them well in a manner. I feel like the image of gangster is, even though it's a despicable term or an analogy or whatever you want to call it, I feel like gangster is just somebody who does everything thoroughly and don't leave nobody, like he don't care for the doubt. They don't care for the doubt. Like I grew up in the hood, the projects where people sold drugs and shit like that. And the most gangsters people was the motherfucker who could sell drugs to their parents, and then then pay their parents rent. Like so, you sell drugs to your parents, and then thorough, because in his brain he taking care of the responsibilities his parents couldn't take care of because they had the addiction.
Now you know I gotta say this. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with the points that you were making, but LeBron James, I feel like is the worst example you could use on the face of the
All right,
earth.
well look. The next gangster other than LeBron James, I can
I,
only say it's only two other gangsters.
can we stay on LeBron real quick before we go to them? Can you see the screen
Well,
right
look,
now?
I'm being rude because my queen just walked in and I'm in hot water, and so y'all niggas is cop blocking. But I do enjoy talking because I don't get to share my thoughts with everybody.
Real quick on the way out before you get up out of here. Can you see the screen?
Who in these little ass shorts?
That's your gangster, bro.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
Is that
all I'm saying.
LeBron James with long hair?
That's your gangster. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. If you gotta be out, tell them where
He
to
got a
find.
wig on with Well, I mean, look, Young Thug gangster. He
I'm
gangster
just
somebody.
saying. I'm just saying. That's your gangster. Then it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying. If you gotta be, you gotta be out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you can name your two other gangsters and then tell them where to find you. All right.
My second gangster is TK.
Okay.
Keep on 100. And then my third gangster is motherfucker Donald Trump.
Damn.
Take it how you want to take it.
Wait, hold on. Why is Donald Trump a gangster? Real quick.
Because he say what the fuck he want to say. He run the whole country. What you going to do about it? Nothing. So you just got to accept it. You could say how many people should think he be impeached, but guess what? You don't have the power to do anything about it.
That's
Gangster. He gangster.
Tell me what.
He a tyrant, a gangster. He all of the above. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So if you ask me what a gangster is, it would be that man who got a comb over and can say whatever the hell he want on national TV. Nobody lock him the hell up.
That's a fucking goddamn.
Now,
now Bad and Boozy said that's right. When your queen come in, give her that attention.
Well, I suck at that, but I gotta learn to be better before I break my own heart.
And Keys to Win says he's a puppet. I'm gonna have to agree.
Well, you know what? He a puppet, but on the top of his puppet forehead say some gangster shit here.
And with that, family, tell them where to find you, man. This was an episode of Family Business. I was joined by the Cuzzo. Tell them where to find you, fam.
I don't even know. Just ask for my email, I guess.
All right, cool then. We out. Definitely this was the first installment of Family Business. I appreciate everybody for joining us, man, and I appreciate the the Cuzzo for coming through, man. It was a lot of enlightenment here. Hopefully I can get him back on. We could do some more segments. I really appreciate you for coming on, man. You said a lot of shit tonight that I wasn't even aware of.
Cause nigga, I spend a lot of time thinking of myself. But you know, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't be doing shit but trying to stay awake. So if y'all gonna get back online, we can shimmy and shake. Y'all can help me make my dollars, and I can help, you know what I'm saying, share my opinions, and we can wisdom on wisdom, and we can do some shit.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, family. With that, it's low key. We out. Peace.
I'ma holler.